Happy Friday, everybody. Glad to make it through a full week of school in the 2022 school year. Grades are coming out this afternoon. The grade will be posted by 4:30 and your portfolio tab of Skyward. Should already know your grades though, so it shouldn't be anything surprising. We should know our GPAs as well. And so that'll be just official onto Canvas. And so let's get to it. Let's get to our announcements. All right. So today is Friday, February the 14th, or January the 14th. I'm already trying to jump ahead. Friday, January 14th, 2022. And these are your morning announcements. The mission of Wesleyan Middle School is to reveal the genius of each Wildcat through a culture of joy, respect, and excellence. Let's get Wildcat ready, everybody. Okay, so that includes, there's about 4 or 5 different things here. Number one, get our mask worn correctly above our nose, below our chin. We take our hats and our hoods off. We put our AirPods away, in their case, in our locker or our pockets. Our phone should be in our lockers. 6th graders' phone should be in your bags. And we should be Wildcat ready. And soon, I think part of being Wildcat ready is also having your ID. So I know yesterday some classes checked theirs. We're going to be finishing up checking today. I am going to pass out your IDs today during your lunch. So when you get called up to lunch, if you don't have your ID, come up to a table I'm going to be at. We're going to get you your printed ID. We printed off a bunch yesterday, and we're going to print off a bunch this morning. And then we're going to give you a holder and a lanyard. And hopefully by the end of the day, at least, we'll have 95% of you having your IDs on all the time, and then making sure they're there for lunch as well. So that's very exciting for this week and next. So today during lunch, as you called out, you know how I stand in the hallway to kind of make sure everybody goes in the right spot. That's my spot. I'm going to have a table ready with your IDs on it. Come to me, tell me what grade you are, and we'll get you set up, and then you'll be able to go in line with your ID already printed. If we don't have your ID printed, we will have it by Monday. Some of you would need to take pictures, and so we'll get it taken care of as well for that. All right, let's look at our schedule for today. We are finalizing out our advisory and then going through our third rotations of periods 4 through 8. Don't forget the Student Alliance for Equity, our SAFE, is meeting next Tuesday, January the 18th after school. All right, we finished today with the life of Dr. King. Here we go into from 64 to 68. On the August 1963, we talked about a little bit yesterday, March on Washington, King makes his famous I Have a Dream speech. He is he's named Man of the Year for the Times Man of the Year. He attends a signing ceremony of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 at the White House on July 2nd. He experiences, but he gets in summer of that year, he had the first rejection he was stoned throw at him by Black Muslims in Harlem. And then later that year, he is actually named the Nobel Peace Prize. He gets that on December the 10th. He's the youngest person ever to receive that award at age 35. From 1965 and 66, you see King was arrested in Selma during the voting rights, and then President Johnson signed the Voting Rights Act into law, and he turns to the other problems of poor Blacks. And then in January 22nd of 1966, he moves into a Chicago slum to show the poor living conditions of the poor. And in June of 1966, he begins to march against fear through the South, and he starts a campaign to end discrimination in Chicago that same summer. So here in 1967, he writes a book, Where Do We Go From Here, Chaos or Community? And the Supreme Court upholds a conviction of him from the Birmingham court. He was demonstrating without a permit. He spent 4 days in the Birmingham jail. That was where he wrote his book, but they upheld that conviction. Then in November 27th, he can announce the creation of Poor People's Campaign, focusing on jobs and freedom for the poor in all races. In 1968, King declares that Poor People's Campaign will end with the March on Washington. He'll demand a $12 billion economic bill of rights, promise employment for those who can't work and money for those who can't, and end housing discrimination. He also then marches to support sanitation workers in Memphis, Tennessee. And on March 28th, King leads a march that turned violent. It's the first time it had happened. And he gives his I've Been to the Mountaintop speech. Then on sunset on April 4th, 1968, Dr. Martin Luther King was shot and killed. He's standing on a balcony in the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee. And his funeral on April 9th is a global event. then within a week of the assassination, the Open Housing Act is passed by Congress. So then getting to the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. So on October 19th, 1983, the Senate voted to make Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday a national holiday. It's the third Monday of January. Then President Reagan at the time signed the bill into law on November 2nd. 1986 was the first year to celebrate. A week of concerts, church services, and school activities and parades took place in all cities across the country. And it wasn't until 1993 that all 50 states observed the holiday. Arizona and New Hampshire were the last to celebrate the holiday. And so also too, after announcements today, I've given your teachers links to watch the I Have a Dream speech. And so that is something that you could watch afterwards, or I've been to the mountaintop. I'm going to give them both options and you can choose if we have a video for I've been to the mountaintop. If we get no tutoring this week or next, we'll pick up tutoring on the 24th, assuming we need it. All food should be in the cafetorium. No food should be eaten outside the cafetorium. So you need your ID at all times, especially in the cafeteria. And again, like I said, I think I'm passing out today in the neighborhood of like at least 300 IDs. And some of you already have them, so very kudos to you for that. And we'll do some different checks for IDs as well. Make sure you have them. Don't forget our cell phones in our locker between 9:15 and 4:20. They'll be taken if they're seen or heard. And for advisory after this, again, I have a dream speech. And if we have the other speeches too, I'll let you choose. I'll let you tell your teacher which one you want to watch. Don't forget our motto is every Wildcat, every day gets better. All right, everybody, have a fantastic Friday. Again, we will not see you Monday, and we will see you. So you'll be back on here Tuesday morning for announcements. So have a great Friday.